And now, another You Can't Comp This episode highlight.
Yep.
We're gonna kick it off with your with the trade that you put up on the socials, and you have you've gone through your trial by fire.
Yeah, look, fun experience. So just to really quickly recap, I sent away 5 cards. They're all mosaic cards.
Yep.
2017 Donovan Mitchell PSA 9, so rookie card silver, PSA 10 blue Fox, a 2017 LeBron James PSA 10 blue, a Fox 9 rookie card, again mosaic silver, and then the a 10 for the last one, which is a Fox. So probably the card that I was a little bit reluctant to give up was the LeBron James, just for the fact that I pack pulled it, I graded it myself, and the comps on it actually on that very particular card was quite low. It was about like 80 US, and then other mosaic cards that were blue LeBrons were doing like 280. So that was where my hesitation came in. But I'd also say too, I really wanted to trade up, and I was actually quite happy with what I got back. So I got back a Tim Duncan 1997 Metal Universe PSA 10. So if it was PSA 9, I wouldn't have even like considered it, going for the 5-for-1.
No.
But it was a 10. So yeah, I'm very happy about that. So the really interesting thing about this card is actually at one point this was trading for about $2,000.
Yep.
Albeit that was in the peak, but when I was buying Duncan relatively heavily, that was just completely out of my price range. So that was also sort of something that, gave it a little bit more, intrigue for me. So I'm very happy with it. And now that the dust has settled a little bit, actually, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Yep. So had a few people, chime in: Nathan Lee, Matthew Yuga, Ben, Anthony, Corey, Samuel, and Andrew Hampton. And if I'm reading this correctly, everyone went for the Tim Duncan. So that was on Facebook.
That's
actually
nice.
I was very surprised about that. Now, on Twitter, though, we did have one differing answer, and it was from Carl. Got to take the 5 cards, even though the Tim Duncan medal should be an iconic card. He just doesn't have the same gravitas in the hobby like other superstars. And that's 100% correct. And I think particularly when you comp him to LeBron James, which you could argue is one of the more fluid or liquid, as the NFT traders like to refer it to as. So that's it's always good to get different opinions, and Carl being a friend of the show, we 100% respect that. And then our last one was on Instagram, so Sterling Cardboard and Surly Sports Cards. So it's a bit of a theme there, isn't it? On Instagram, people are more about branding, aren't they?
It is it's interesting what the socials say.
They were all positive for the Duncan there. So, Adam, lay your judgment on me on this one.
Judgment? Look,
Would you have done that trade?
I wouldn't have been as quick to pull the trigger.
Yeah, right.
But
I thought I really dragged my feet. I actually felt Dion was quite patient with me. I was like umming and ahhing.
You weren't there later on when Logan was negotiating with me.
That child.
that was pulling teeth. Logan is if he gets you in a room, you're not leaving until a deal is done. Yeah. That was an experience. No, I think you guys sort of methodically worked through the trade.
Yeah. He's a professional.
But it's very I don't know. I think as a hobby enthusiast, you know what you want out of a deal, right? So what you're prepared to give up versus what you're prepared, like how much you're prepared to give up, is relative.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And you're right. Carl's point's bang on.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan doesn't get the kind of hobby, I guess,
definitely
love.
And I do have a soft spot for Duncan. Like I think he's incredibly underrated. So I feel very happy with this. Yeah, definitely.
And I think long term, he's definitely he's going to continue to go up. We know he's one of those players that his career is set in stone.
Very much.
Right? So it's literally chiseled on the wall. It's done. You've got a couple of cards in the 5 that you've given up. Obviously, we know where LeBron's finished. LeBron's LeBron.
Yeah.
But there are other players that could be done. That their story isn't told, so to speak.
Yeah, and I think that's what Dion was banking on. I think he wanted to get Donovan Mitchell and Fox, so I think that sort of appealed to him.
Yep.
And
I mean, it's a good bet.
Yeah, and he mentioned that he was going to go overseas, so I think that was the other thing. He was sort of planning to take them and flip them overseas. So that's awesome. Like,
but I think in a trade, that's also part of the beauty of the hobby. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you are getting what you want out of it, so you're after this card that obviously has a long-term projected increase.
Yeah.
A nice safe. You want Tim Duncan. You like Tim Duncan. You've got all these younger players or more modern cards that you sort of can acquire a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Might be the way to describe it. And then, so you're getting what you want. Dion's getting what he wants. And I think that's definitely a beautiful thing in a hobby like ours, where two people can win the trade, so to speak.
Yeah, that's.
Because I think Dion walked away thinking he got what he wanted out of it.
Definitely, yeah.
And his perceived value was in his favor.
Yeah.
Your perceived value is in yours, and I think you converted your 5 cards into something you really want, and he turned a card that he's got that's a solid prospect into some more prospecting.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's what he's hoping. I think those cards will sort of trickle up a little bit, and you'll get his cash back there. Look, I actually think probably where he is going to do quite well is at LeBron, because I think that comp that we did see was actually a little bit low. So, and look, you can say, "Oh, I'm just blowing smoke because I'm the seller," but at the same time, I do think that comp was a little bit unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it definitely didn't help me. But look, I've got no. Actually, now the dust has settled, I'm feeling good. So anyway, All right, move on.
Here is the way that you can get in touch with Russell and myself and be a bigger part of the show. Now, if you follow the link tree to our Facebook group, that is where Russell and I put our mailbags up, our card versus card, our player versus player, our buy, hold, sell questions. All of those will go up on socials, on IG as well, using the handle @YouCan'tCompThis. Now, if you do have a more tailored question, feel free to PM us on Instagram. You can reach out in our Facebook group, and we'll be happy to respond and see if it's something that we can add to the show. Once again, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate the support and love creating this content for our loyal listeners. If you haven't done so already, we'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and click the bell for notifications. So hopefully we see you when we go live. Thanks for watching.